Greetings, my fellow weebs, nerds, yes, even furries, to today's Yap session.
Fathers, something most black people can relate to. Anyway, if you clicked on this video, then you already know what I'm about to talk about. In anime specifically, we know the type of fathers there is. They really make sure that you know that your father going to get the milk isn't the worst thing that can happen to you. Now, there's a lot of media on terrible fathers already out there, but let me just speak on like 4 of the worst fathers you could possibly have. Like, these are the type of niggas I wouldn't even wish are my worst enemy. First nigga on this list is Yujiro fucking Hanma. The worst nigga you could have as your father. Now, where do I even start? Firstly, this is where Baki lives, alright? Okay, even for like African standards, this shit is the hood. And this is where we live at. This is where most Africans live at. And to make shit even worse, this nigga is signing entire treaties with presidents. You know this nigga got money. You know he stacks flowing. You know them pockets wealthy. Like, even if we ignore like Baki's terrible living standards, okay, this nigga Yujiro is still Baki's father, right? And as Baki's father, right, you would expect him to be less abusive, but no, this is the type of shit that he be doing to him after a fight. Look at this nigga. He's happy. Look at that smile. Little side note, but if you see anybody, it don't matter who he is, what he did. If you see anybody stop an earthquake with his bare hands, then maybe don't challenge that nigga to a fight, alright? Don't. Back to this twisted creature right over here. On top of abusing Baki's entire life, this nigga killed his mom. Right in front of him, too. Right in front of him. This nigga's awful. Forward a few years later, and Baki finally decides to get it back in blood for his mom, okay? He finally put up on that bum ass nigga Yujiro. So I'm gonna be real, that nigga was playing with his life, alright? Okay, nobody fighting Yujiro, but regardless, we get back to round 2 of the fight, and this nigga Yujiro decides to throw his own son on a 15th floor building. Talking about he'll survive. You lucky that nigga's last name is Hanma, right? And even though that nigga shit his pants, he'd still put up a pretty good fight. But again, Yujiro Hanma, I mean, you can't really do shit about that. Anyway, he starts using his son as a ninja on some Bruce Lee shit. And this nigga has the audacity to start talking about, don't underestimate my son. Nigga, this shit ain't wholesome. Look at what you're doing. Anyway, after making sure that his son has no working bones available to him, he had the audacity to make some imaginary soup and sit down with his son. Nigga, this shit ain't wholesome. Yujiro bum ass nigga. Anyway, at least he was around for his first son. The second one, he was like non-existent. The man was never there. The man was just gone. He disappeared. He went to go get the milk. Anyway, that's all I have to say about Yujiro Hanma. Even though, like, I'm shitting on him, I actually like him as a character, but he's a terrible father. The next nigga I'm about to talk about is a nigga we all know very, very well. Very well. So, like, unless you've been living under a rock your entire life, you probably know what this man did. So, but in case you don't, I'm gonna try to break it down as much as I possibly can. Alright, so basically, right, in order to get the title of one of the worst fathers in history, this man had to do something so terrible to his daughter, alright? So basically, you need something called a license for alchemy, which is basically like the same as a verification on Instagram. So just like a verification on Instagram, it's basically just a way to make easy money, you get it? So like unlike a verification on Instagram, you have to like show that you deserve this license. So this man didn't come up with anything for the past like 2 years and was afraid that he was going to lose his license. So his daughter comforts her and shit. And you would expect a good father to take her out for some ice cream or some shit, but no. You know what this sick receding hairline ass nigga, do you know what this awful nigga did? This man turned his daughter into a freaking chimera, an animal, a beast. And the thing that really pissed me off is all he needed to do is take one of these. And this man didn't even have the courtesy to look even a bit sad. But regardless, the next nigga I'm about to speak about is the 4th Kasekage. Now, I'm a man of God. So for me to say I hate you, that means something. That means something. You see, the hate I have for this man is more passionate than the hate I have for the third Hokage. And that's saying something, nigga. That's saying something, alright? Matter of fact, if I had words to speak to this man, this individual, this sick, this decrepit man right here, these would be the following words.
You gotta pull up in front of my house. Pull up in front of the motherfucking precinct and let's bang out. Right down the block. You know where's that? You study my whole neighborhood. Or pull up in front of the Kmart and let's bang out and let's do it on camera. I throw my life away and you throw your life away right now. Right now. Let's do it for the camera. Right now. And if you win, I'll make sure I got like $70,000 in my pocket. If you body me, you can take the money. Right now. I hate you, nigga. Let's die.
Now, where do I even start? Okay, this man sealed a freaking nuke in his son at birth. So basically, at birth, this nigga has no mom. One. Secondly, this bum ass, douchebag ass nigga make this nigga play alone and let this nigga get bullied and persecuted by the entire village. And to make shit even worse, he's basically a freaking prince. Not to even mention the fact that he made this man kill his own uncle, the only nigga that ever gave a shit about him. He made him kill him. This shit was sad, nigga. This shit was sad. I could really go on and on and on and on about how I hate this freaking waste of liquid. But I feel like I'm gonna make a full video about this nigga. I'm gonna make a full video about this waste of space. The last and arguably the worst father to have on this list, Kagemitsu. Now I have been shitting on the fourth Kazekage, alright? But if I had to choose, I would choose this nigga over this nigga, alright? That just goes to show you how much evil and decrepit this man truly was, alright? Now to break it down, Daigo was basically a king of a nation, alright? So in his kingdom, like people were starving, it was terrible living conditions. Now instead of finding diplomatic ways to fix this man resorts to freaking witchcraft. Like, my nigga, isn't your goal to become the greatest king in history? I don't think this is the way. Now we know how these things go. It comes with a cost, and ultimately his son is crippled, alright? And I say crippled as like the nicest possible way I can put this. This man lost everything. This boy got born with absolutely nothing. No limbs, no legs, deaf, blind, everything, alright? And after selling his son's soul, this man starts laughing and shit. This man's evil. This man's evil. So they basically throw this little nigga away, and Unk finds him a few days later and starts wrapping him up and shit. So after he wraps him up and shit, we fast forward like a few years later, and this nigga's face and everything about him is like plastic, and he's fighting literal demons just to get his body back.
So after finding out that his crippled son is finally trying to get his body back, you can imagine the type of shit this man was on, alright? This man was pissed. And you know what he does? Gaslights his other son into believing that his other son is the enemy. Like, oh dear fuck. Nigga, you're awful. He does end up getting his body back though, so like, calm. Regardless, that's pretty much the end of the video. I did want to put in 1 or 2 more characters in here, but my little brother hasn't finished One Piece yet, so like, until he does, I won't be able to express my hatred for this man right here. But regardless, like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one.